Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? I think there's I think there's probably a little bit of delay because I'm assuming there was like a commercial or something that got started. So I'm going to give it just a couple of seconds here before we get into anything. But I hope that everybody is doing well. I hope that your week is off to a good start. I know Mondays are, we don't say a case of the Mondays. I like to do this on Monday because I do feel like it's like, okay, we got the whole week ahead of us. And sometimes Monday can be that, like, sort of, it was the first day back. And it can have that little bit of, like, slug to it. Like when everybody's got hump day, Wednesday. Or you've got, Thirsty Thursday or whatever. I feel like my microphone is slipping away from me. Get down there. Stay with the girls. How's everybody doing? Erica, I see you in here. Hello. Hope you're doing better. Check it out. I got this little tap light here from IKEA today. It says it takes 3 AAA batteries, which I have right here. I'm going to test something out with this because I have next to me something I want to show you in a sec here. And I want to see if this lighting effect thing I saw will work. I saw somebody do this online. I mean, I feel like it's a little too, probably a little too bright here to get the full effect. I don't know how bright this is going to be. But let us find out together. Yeah, you like my polo? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Excuse me for 1 second. No. Nope. I was thinking if I like Velcroed it or did one more button, but I was like, no, I don't like how that it's. Oh God, come on now. This is Happy Monday from Boston from your favorite beer distributor subscriber. You are a beer distributor. Okay, I was like, are you my favorite beer distributor? Are you work for Treehouse? I mean, I like other Boston beer as well. I like the beer down the Cape. I like Knockabout Brewing and stuff. Sorry if you guys can't hear me very well or anything like that. Just let me know. Yeah, you're right. Jennifer in here said I agree with you. It's too formal. It's too formal when it goes that high up, and I'm like, that's not what we're here for. So, yes, this is a Rocco's Modern Life. This is from Roosevelt's. This is a polo. I love Rocco's Modern Life, so anytime there's anything Rocco's Modern Life, like, I've got to get it. You can't see it, but off camera there's like a, I can show you. I can stand up. Hold on, let me stand up for you. Here's Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco hangs off just to the side here. I painted this guy. See, I even did the purple on the side. But yeah, I did them all before. So he's just off to the side. I love Rocco. I feel like he's of a lost era, of a bygone era. I liked that movie they made during I think it came out during like lockdown or COVID or something like that, but I thought it was funny. I don't know how well it did, so I don't know if we'll get another one, but it was good fun for me. Sorry, this is hard to. The directions on this are in true IKEA fashion. Okay, it's pretty bright, so I'm going to see if this works. I got this guy. And I saw online, if you like put this inside of him, he like glows. Ooh, hold on, let's turn these lights off for a sec. Ooh, yeah, so I can add him on my shelf for some like mood lighting. Although it's hard to get my hand in there. I love Ghostbusters. If you don't know this about me, Ghostbusters is like one of my favorite things. I love this little guy. This was good. I needed a good Slimer, like a display Slimer, because I have a proton pack, and someday when I move, I'm going to put that on display, and I want to have a good ghost. So I think he'd be cute for like a movie room or something like that. So I'm going to see if I can't get them on one of these shelves or something like that behind me, but I'm glad this worked out. This was from IKEA. Again, this was, so he's like, I think it's bright enough. Like, you can tell he's lit up there versus there. Yeah. So, so I got that obviously from Cinemark, this one, but pretty nice, pretty sweet. Can't imagine eating popcorn out of here because the mouth is like too big. I don't know. Oh yeah, I miss Ecto Cooler. I was hoping they'd bring that back again for the last movie or this movie. Haven't gotten it back yet, but I can keep dreaming. We can keep dreaming, babies. Okay, so I'm gonna have a drink this week. It's a beer. This week I am gonna have this. This is called Electric Jellyfish. This is a hazy IPA from Pint House. I didn't get to go on this trip. The last 2 trips I've been like, we're going to Pint House. So that's something for next time. But I got this in Austin and I brought it back with me. I don't think I can get it here. You know what? I'm going to Google that right now. We're going to find out together. I'm just curious. No. God, always with the cookies. I don't want the cookies. Oh my God. And now there's like a little setting on here where I could accidentally end this stream. Oh God. F off. Okay. Necessarily. Jeez Louise. Pint House Electric Jellyfish. Oh, nope. Okay. Did you know every time you write Pint House, it autocorrects to Penthouse? Electric Jellyfish. Nope. They don't have it. All stores. Okay. They have it. Let's see. For the closest one toward it. I have to validate the reason why I brought 3 cans back with me because I only had the one. Pickup store. Delivery available. Okay. Pickup in store. Item not available at your location. Will it tell me the closest location? I don't know. It's not letting me click on it. So either let me see. Pickup Mueller. Where is Mueller? Texas is the closest location. Yes. Okay. All right. I feel better. I feel better about my purchase now. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for this line. Ross says in the chat here. So I don't know if anybody's been following like crazy people like me. I know Ross says it too, but I'm so excited for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I don't know if I love the name, but the new Ghostbusters movie I can't wait for. I loved Afterlife, and so I've been trying to follow along with any like cool, fun. There's so much movie stuff coming out for it at all the different theaters. I was trying to find the Cinemark also had a plush that was like a s'mores version of the mini puffed. If anybody sees that, let me know. They didn't have any there. So there's 2 Cinemarks near me. One of them had just the Slimer plush, but it's the same Slimer plush from the last movie, and I got that. And then there's a mini puff and like a s'mores version of the mini puff. I got the plastic cup of this, which I really liked. But they originally said they didn't have these, and then they did have them. So I went back and got them. But I like him. And then I know AMC and Regal are both going to have trap popcorn buckets. The Regal one, they say, has lights and sound, which seems crazy to make a popcorn bucket with sound that you're going to have in a movie theater. Anyway, but I'm kind of invested in that. But I did also do the Hasbro pre-order for the actual trap that's coming out with the PKE meter. So I'm like, I don't need it, but it is cool to be able to eat popcorn out of a trap. Plus, like this tap light inside of one of those traps where the hinges open. Heck yeah. So Ghostbusters was my Power Rangers before Power Rangers. I'm going to open my beer. Again, this is the Electric Jellyfish from Pine House. It is an hazy IPA, 6.5%. This is one of my favorite beer. Like, I very much enjoy this beer. I'm going to pour it inside of my Alamo Draft House cup that I have here from Austin. See, it even says Alamo Draft House in Austin. So I went to an Alamo Draft House. I'll talk about my Austin trip here. I did do a video on the channel of my first day. I decided I had done about half of the second day, and toward the end of the evening, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to enjoy the moments. I'm just going to live in the moment. And so I thought the first day was fun, and I'm glad I did it because watching it back and editing, I was like, this was so much fun. So, oh my gosh, John is all the way in Tennessee. Wow. Um, but yeah, so that's that. But let me finish the conversation on Ghostbusters. Now I can't remember what I was saying about Ghostbusters. Anyway, I keep watching to see the fun stuff they're coming out with, because Power Rangers, Ghostbusters was like my Power Rangers before Power Rangers. I mean, I was really little, but I loved the show and I loved the movies. And so it's one of those things where like I don't have a ton of Ghostbuster stuff. I did get that Hasbro, the HasLab Proton Pack, and at first I was like, "What am I doing?" And I did a live on this channel where I unboxed it, and I do not regret it. I love that thing so much. It is so friggin' cool. I wish I had some way to display it right now or like wear it. I mean, it came with a cool display piece, but there's just no room anywhere, so it's really being used as like an end table right now. But when I move, that's like the first thing where I'm like, the Proton Pack's going like on the wall. Like I was thinking like I'd use like PVC pipes to like so you could slide it in and then like slide it off if you want to wear it. So, but I love that. So I have that, and I've got like a Funko Pop of a Mini Puff that somebody sent me, the Baskin Robbins one, which is cute, and I really like that. And then I've got like a painting a friend of mine made for me that's hanging up above me, and that's kind of like it. Like I don't really have any Ghostbuster stuff, sadly. I think they're gonna make a bunch of like oh my god, guys! I literally was like, I'm gonna make the Instagram link, and I didn't. I'm so sorry. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this right now. Right now. Right now. I'm a ding dong. Ding dang dong. Hold on. Here we go. This is behind the scenes. Let me get the beer out of here. I don't know how Instagram feels about it. Hello, Instagram. I am live on YouTube right now. If you want to come over and chit chat and join, I'm just chatting, having a fun Monday. Going to answer some questions and talk about my Austin trip this last weekend. And yeah, just hang out. Click that link and come on over and chill with us. Trey with the singular Trey, the plural Trey is Griffin, says that welcome to Tennessee. The whole state is great. I've only driven through Tennessee, but I know a cool person in Tennessee. That's for sure. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I brought this back. Though I had this when I was a little kid. Let me show you. I don't want to like unwrap it, and I don't know why I still had it, but I had this phone in my room when I was a kid that was the Ghostbusters, like their symbol. And so this piece right here is the telephone piece here. But I think my house was struck by lightning when I was a kid, so it like fried the phone. Not that I don't have a landline, or do I have a landline? I don't know. I might. It might have been included in the cable thing. I don't know. But I thought I was gonna like clean him up a little bit and hang him on the wall somewhere. And I don't want to like snip the cord, but I thought maybe I could like attach it to the back somehow or something like that. So I brought it back from Massachusetts, hopefully thinking I could put it up somewhere, and I can't. And so I'm just keeping him like all in his bubble wrap that I put him in. So I got some fun. I feel like I don't need a ton of stuff, but it's things like that where I'm like, I can't believe that made the journey from my childhood to adulthood. And so like I want to put that up with like the Proton Pack or something, and then when they get the trap and the PKE meter, and then do like a nice poster of it, and have the like lit up thing. I need that house with the basement. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's that. Let me just do this. I am so sorry. Hold on 1 second. I put it in here. I put the link in here. There it is. I was like, you have to like open the app on my, I did it on my computer. What a dum-dum. What a dum-dum. Okay. All right, guys, I hate not hate, I shouldn't say hate. I am not a fan of this like trend of whatever. Of course I'm going to do this. And I'm like, I am exhausted by it. I just see it everywhere, and it just makes me like, I don't know. Anyway, making sure this uploaded. There we go. All right, all set. Full attention. Full attention. So yeah, love Ghostbusters. Big fan. Can't wait. Love this new cast, and I'm excited to see where they go with the franchise and everything like that. So that's not this Friday. That is the 22nd. So I think we are 2 weeks from this Friday away from it. So very, very, very excited. Anyway, how are y'all doing? How's everybody out there? What's everyone having to drink today? Yeah, there's apparently a Ghostbuster speakeasy like outside of Chicago that I'm like, I really want to go to because there's like, I bet there's a s'mores old fashioned in there. But yeah, so I guess let me tell you about my trip to Austin. So like I said, I did a video on the channel, and that was kind of just the travel day and everything that we did there, and that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did that because I like doing those things, even if nobody watches it but me, because it is like a little bit of like a, it's like I feel like I call it my version of scrapbooking, where it's just like kind of me, I get to relive that a little bit and stuff. So I gotta figure out like a way that makes me feel like I'm doing a better job while I'm doing it, because I do feel like I am a little hard on myself while I'm doing it, and sometimes that causes me to stop doing it while I'm doing it. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, no, you got to keep with it and finish, follow it through and stuff and whatever. Sometimes they're better than others, and sometimes they're not, and just do that. But oh, Trey's got a spicy paloma. I'd like to know what makes it spicy. Is it you? Or is there something in the recipe? So there, old fashions for Ross and Lana. I just said Lana. Sorry, I was too big of a Smallville fan that I have to like mentally talk myself down to it all the time. So Dorothy is correct. Number one reason to move out of Florida, I need a basement. I agree with you. Listen, here's the thing. I think it's just about figuring out how I'm going to move out, like where to go. You know what I mean? I think that's just really hard for me to like commit in a thing, but Austin's a cool city. Love the vibe there. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know that I want to live in Texas. I don't know that I want to eject from Florida to go to another place that seems like, politically speaking in the same manner of a thing. But Austin's a very cool city. Austin is a very, very, very cool city. It's kind of the thing about Orlando. I feel like it's not necessarily indicative of the rest of the state. The big cities, I feel like not always are. It's like how Boston is like, people think, oh, people from Massachusetts, Boston. But I'm like, there's like kind of a whole back half of our state that people from like Amherst or like way out that way, that's a whole nother state. That's a whole nother journey over there. So, but yeah, Mark, good one. Yeah, this ain't Texas. But yeah, no basements in Texas either. But yeah, no. The city of Austin just is such a great vibe. Yeah. So if you want to see what I did on the first day, you can watch that video that I put out here. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of like, I feel like I took a flight at the right time of day, because I think my flight was scheduled to depart at like, it was either 11:15. No, it was 11:45. Because I was like, I have to be there by like 10 I wanted to be comfortable to leave. So I was like, I gotta leave by 9:30. So it allowed me a time to be able to get up, and get ready. And I felt like, yes, I anxiety packed and, till my like usual time of like 1 or 2 a.m. But what was great is like, at least I still got like 6 hours of sleep. So when I got off the plane, it was still like, okay, I could do stuff. And I was pretty good. I didn't like really hit a wall until till we were pretty much like, all right, let's call it a night. So yeah, we got off the plane, we went to Tiki Tatsuya, which I showed in the video. Oh my God, if you are a Tiki Bar fan, or just like, not even Tiki Bar fan, if you've got that love for like that immersive or like themed experience or anything like that, is such a cool experience. We always have so much fun going in there. We've got to go every time. I think now it's just going to be our thing, because they have these like taro tots there that I've talked about before. And taro is like it's like a sweet, like a purple sweet potato sort of a thing. Oh my god! But these tots with this like dipping sauce, they are so good. I am sorry, I'm sitting in my chair weird, so my armrest is poking me in the back. But they're like theming in there. They have like this like these like cool effects and everything. I don't know. I thought it was just so cool. So that's the first place I went when I got a thing, because my friend was like, I thought it would be cool to have like a progressive meal. And then we went to Home Slice, which somebody else had recommended too, but he had already picked it out, and that was pretty good. I forget which location we went to, because I think there's more than one. But what I liked about it is it's not necessarily like, oh, the pizza or the thing. It's kind of like I'm just going to put that armrest down because it's stabbing me in the back. It felt like kind of a classic, that sort of classic or like cinematic look to a pizza bar, where you're like, okay, if I was going to film in a pizza restaurant or something like that, what would it look like? And you'd be like, oh, well, you got to have those round red booths, right, with the circular tables and stuff. And it had that, and it had a cool bar in there, and then there was like a neon sign in there. And so I was like, it was like, and then they had like interesting drinks and cool like different types of pizza. And I thought, like, that's my speed. That's like the thing I love. So so that was a really good choice on his under his advisement. And then I was like, we got to go to H-E-B, which is the like local grocery store. It's like their version of Publix. Not their version of Publix. It's way better than Publix. But they have like, the thing is like they always have like really cool, like good like grab and go sort of stuff. So there's like these pumpkin empanadas that I really like that are there. So we always get those. And then there was a tres leches cake there, and the joke with me lately is always, I was like, oh, should we get a room tres leches cake just to have in the room? Because whenever I go to Anaheim or to California to Disneyland, it's about 10 minutes, 12-minute drive maybe. It's like right across from Knott's Berry Farm, or like same exit, like right at the Strip, is Porto's. Porto's? Yeah, it's the Cuban bakery thing, and I always go up there because they have like a tres leches. They call it like a loaf, so it's like a sheet pan. But from there for like 4 days or more, I would keep one and I'd be like, I just like to have a tres leches in the room, so you can have like a fork, a spoonful, whatever, just that little sweetness of the cake that you need. Or if you have any guests over, you have the extra silverware and you're like, oh, please have some tres leches cake. I'm a weirdo, but I just love it so much, so I get it wherever I see it. So there was one in H-E-B, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like the to die for one that I've had, but it was pretty decent for something that you just grab a slice of out of a grocery store. But the thing that if you go to an H-E-B and they have it, because it's not all year round, there is a lemon bar ice cream. And it has like chunks of lemon bar in it. I love lemon. And then like I love lemon bar because I feel like it has that like kind of graham crackery like crust to it. And just like, oh my God, the texture, the whole thing, everything about it is so good. It's so good. You got to get it. We got it. And the thing about CJ is he gets to keep all the food because obviously I can't take it with me. But they were out of the thing that you also need to get when you go to an H-E-B is you got to look for the butter tortillas, because I know it sounds weird to some, it may, but they're like yay big, but they are just. And I remember being like, when he showed it to me the first time, I was like, a tortilla? You're just gonna eat a tortilla, like or whatever? Because he like put it on the stove, like over the fire on his stove, because he had a gas stove, and I'm like, once you have one, you'll never be the same. It's just so good. And then, so he brings them to me whenever he comes here, but they were out when I went there. But when he brought them to me here, I was like really into like making breakfast stuff. So I'll do like a little bit of like a Spam hash scramble thing, and those in that butter tortilla. Oh my God, that's heaven right there. Those are so good. So got a bunch of the food. I got the electric jellyfish, and I didn't end up drinking any except for one where I was like, well, I can't put 4 in my suitcase. It's gonna be too much weight. I felt like we got something else too, but the usual stuff. But then we went back, hung out at his house for a little bit, and then he loves this bar, Barbarella, because they do an 80s night, and so he loves to dance to like 80s music and stuff. And because the hope is always we get to Whitney to be able to dance to I Want to Dance with Somebody. So we went to that, and then my friend, I have other friends that live in Texas too, so my friend Rodney came to meet us, and his friend Misty came to meet us, and or we went to Misty's house, and we always go to Misty's house because she's like on the way, and then get her hang out there with her for a little bit, and then go there. And so we did that till around like midnight, and that was fun because what's cool about this place is that it's not a gay bar. It's but it is um, like a queer space, so it's like a safe space. So there's signs everywhere that are kind of like, we don't accept intolerance here. It's a zero, so it's really cool. I believe like their Tuesday nights are like a gay night. I don't think I've done a Tuesdays. That's what they call it. I lied. I think we did go because the night I went to the Muse concert last year, that was on a Tuesday. So we were like, he was like, you got to come over and check it out. And it's fun. You know what? Cheap drinks. Like I bought a round for everybody, so there was like 4 of us, and I remember the check came out and it was 33, and I was like, well, I want to, I like to tip just a little, so I was like, leave a $7 tip, so make this check 40, and I was like, $10 a drink, that's not bad, at a bar, at a club, or whatever. And then the next time I did it, I looked at the receipt and I was like, oh, it says tip is included. So I was like, I way over tipped this person, but you know what? Good. I'm glad. So that even more, I was like, these drinks are even more affordable than I thought. So, but it was cool because there's like this fun, like this inside part, there's like a dance area, and then there's this like bar area, and then there's kind of this like area you can kind of sit. There's like 2 or 3 like table things. There's like a back bar, and then there's like an outside, like a porch and a patio, and then it shares the space next to it, I think, like as an outside space, because you could go out and into the next place. But then what's kind of cool is there was a DJ out back too. So they were playing like early 2000s music. It was just like, that was my vibe out back there. But I've noticed like that, and the last time I went is there's like a skyscraper that's kind of like right across from us. And there's like a couple. So it's just like really short, like 1-story building, and then these skyscrapers. I don't know, man. There is something really cool about just being out at night, hearing this, seeing all these happy people, hearing this like music you love, and just kind of like looking up and seeing the stars, but then like seeing these tall buildings, and just I'm like wondering, like, what are these people looking down and seeing? Do they feel it? Do they feel that love? Do they feel that like that fun atmosphere? Or are they just like, what are those weirdos on that porch doing down there? Either way, it's really cool. It's a really cool environment. So we did that. We went back. We dropped everybody off, and then we went to bed and woke up early because he had a football game. It was the first one of the season for him, and it was it's this like, it's a gay football league, but I think straight people play on it too. So I think it's like everybody's welcome. But it's pretty cool. The area where they do it is like these pretty wide open fields. But like, there's like a strip down the middle between 2 fields, and that's where everybody sets up tents, and there's like, everybody's just like kind of there to cheer people on. And I guess there's a tequila company that sponsors them, because there was a margarita truck and then a tequila booth, and they're like, oh yeah, go get a free margarita. And I was like, excuse me? So they won their first game. I got that margarita on that field because, I'm not going to pass up a free margarita. Hello, I'm there visiting a friend. It would be rude. And that was cool. It was just really cool to see kind of the community, like seeing the people who do know each other, who don't know each other, how they kind of interact, how they play, how they do this stuff. I don't know. It's really fun because we don't really there are sports leagues here. And I remember like years ago, I was going to try out for the softball team because I love baseball. And I feel like I'm pretty good at baseball. So I didn't, I don't know. It's on me. I also was in a weird place in my life too. I'm always in a weird place in my life. But I felt like it was very cliquey, and they're very intense about you being a certain, like, it's not fun kind of, it's like too aggressive. I don't know. It's that weird, like, you guys are removing that like fun atmosphere out of it. So regardless, it was cool to really see this like fun sense of community, and these people like all just enjoying themselves, and like, I don't know, it's fun for us out there too, because he played, I was like, oh, first game of the day, I'm tired. Last time he played the first game of the day too. So I think the game was at like 9. So he wanted to be there by like 8:30. So we like left his house, I think, by like 8. But it's nice because that day, I think it got up to like 80-something degrees. but when you're out in the morning, it's like still nice and cool because it's got that. I feel like Austin, at least my experience, like it's still at least like I feel like it comes down a little bit at night still, so it wasn't as humid. It did get humid later in the week, like on like Monday, but it wasn't like what I was. So it was like, yeah, it was warm, it ended up getting warm, but it wasn't like overwhelming, right? So we did that, and then we went to lunch at this place, this like cool place where I had gone to a different location last time I was there called Tumble 22. And it's this like kind of chicken place, and it was really good. That was fun. And then as we're like sitting there and talking, his friend Kristen had come to this, who's great, and Misty was there, and then he had some other friends that were there, but they didn't come to eat with us, so it was the four of us, and they were talking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I didn't take him to the Christmas bar," and I was like, "There is a Christmas bar here that you have never taken me to," and they were very like, "Well, no," they were like, "It's not like," because he had been to the one here in Orlando that we used to have. And he was like, it's not like that one. He was like, this one is definitely like very stereotypical, like neighborhood dive bar, but it's always decorated like it's Christmas. And I was like, I gotta see it. And it was walking distance. So I was like, let's just walk over. And we did. And it reminded me very much, like, I know this is a very specific thing. The bar in the first Gremlins movie that Phoebe Cates' character works in it was that sort of a vibe to it where it did feel like that. It was like this element where I was like, you know why it's perfect that it's just decorated like Christmas? Because I feel like there is this weird sort of dive bar vibe to like a local bar sometimes that you're like dark corners, weird lighting. But like the element of Christmas is like the perfect sort of that emotion where you're like, it's a little bit sad, but like it's happy because you're here. It was so cool. I thought they were going to have Christmas drinks because it had listed on the menu, but they were like, no, we don't have any of those seasonal drinks. And I was like, seasonal? Gang, I was like, it is not that hard to make a chai syrup over here on the counter. And then you got yourself your holiday old fashioned. But I did have an old fashioned in there using a local bourbon from Austin. It was like the only bourbon in there I hadn't tried. And his friend recommended it. It was really, really good. I'm gonna have to send a message to see what it was. So I feel like we sat there and we had a really awesome conversation, all of us. It was really fun, like sitting and chatting, and I don't know. It was one of those experiences where I was like, it fed the soul, you know? And so then we went back, and then I think like naps were had at the house. Watched some TV. I don't think we like ate again that day. Well, we did eat a lot, so that's what I was like, it wasn't like we didn't eat a lot at the restaurant. And then that night, we did the same thing. We went to Misty's house, and then Kristen came with us, and then Kristen's fiance Riley came with us, and then my friend Rod met up with us again, and we did a bunch of these places that are like in downtown Austin that they call it's like 4th Street, I think is what it's called. So we did this place called the Iron Bear. And then, which is definitely a very unique vibe too, because it's got it's like a long place. So like you come in and it's just like really long, but like thin sort of a restaurant, I won't say restaurant because it is a restaurant during the day, I think, but it's not at night. But then there's like in the back, there's like a small dance floor, but it wasn't really dance, but then it's a very social atmosphere. And then we went from there to this place called Oil Can Harry's, they call OCH. And that has sort of, we got there, and like right when we got there, like a drag show started, and I was like, should we go? Not because I don't like drag or whatever, but I have this feeling about when it's like a Saturday night at like midnight, I'm always just like, the vibe is just going. And it feels like, I'm fine with it when there's somewhere else, like a separate room we can go into or something like that. But I hate when it like shuts down the vibe of a club because you're like, well, I came here to dance, and now there's the show. And this is going to go on for like an hour. So like we went back because I think it was like this person at the other place. So we went back for that. But then we went, we did that midnight food run because I was like, I don't think we've eaten in a while. And so we went to Whataburger because I like Whataburger. And that was like so much fun because it was like we got our food and we sat and we like chatted and break down the night. And then, like going back from Whataburger, we brought up like other stuff, like, so I forget how we got to talking about, we were talking about The Greatest Showman, and then I was like, okay, we are gonna sing, we talked about like, oh, what your favorite song on it was, and he said, and we said like, oh, well, Never Enough is just so good, and so we put that on like like wailed. Like I'm talking, we sang it so loud that I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to speak after this. um, but it was no, it was a good night, and then we slept in Sunday, and I met my cousin and his wife. And CJ and I went to a restaurant that was like it was called Sawyer and Company, and it was like a Louisiana themed restaurant. We realized when we got in there, and that was a place. That food there was so good, and it was a cool vibe too because it was in like an older establishment. We got sat on the patio, and at first I was like, oh, I don't want to be here, but it ended up being like shaded, and the server was nice, and it was like a dog friendly area and everything, and I was just like, oh my god, I love this. And there was a corgi there, and I was like, I miss my babies. They would love this. And then so we were there for like 2 or 3 hours or something like that, just talking to my cousin and stuff. And it was nice just sitting and talking to him because we don't really get time to spend with each other in our adult life. And I don't know, it was fun to talk about where I was like, yeah, the changing landscape of our hometowns. They always seem a little bit meaner every time we go back, a little bit harsher, a little bit less accepting than it was, and stuff. But my cousin lives in Austin now. He bought a place there and stuff. And so I was like, okay, cool. So, there's other people I like there. And I miss my other cousin, his brother, who's my godson, by like a week because he was coming down because I forgot South by Southwest is like this weekend. And I'm like, I'm a little bit upset with myself. But that would also be like, that wasn't the purpose of my trip. My purpose was to go and like see my friend. And so I said, next year, I'm definitely doing that. I want to do South by Southwest in 2025. I've always wanted to do it. And I just want to go and be like, let's just do it. And so I'm going to be like, they'll go, but I might be like, CJ, I'm going to buy your ticket, because you're going to let me stay with you, obviously. But yeah, so that was, and then Sunday, we went back to the Iron Bear because he likes it there, and it was a completely different vibe there on that day. That was definitely like a social atmosphere. And then we went to this other place called Rain because they play music and had some dancing, and it was like kind of wide open. There was like a light up dance floor, although the light up floor wasn't working that much, but they had these like cool cubes in the air that had like projection mapping on them. But those were fun. We went there because I think there's a lot of like people in his football league and then the softball league and stuff like that end up going there. So everybody's very social there. So it was really, really cool. And then Monday, obviously we took it easy, and he worked. I did some work while I was there. And then we went to the movies. I went to an Alamo Drafthouse, another location. So now I've been to 3 locations. And I can't remember the name of this location, but I think I liked this one the best. But they also finally had merchandise. So I was able to get a glass. I have one t-shirt that I got because they didn't have my size in the other one. That was like the basic. It just said the Alamo Drafthouse, which was the bummer because I really wanted that one. But I got another one that was like the poster. And then they had a bandana that I got too. And this, so I was like, I'm going to get all this stuff. But I saw Poor Things. Has anyone seen Poor Things? We'll talk about that in a second. So then we went to this ramen place that was like, I called it Mother Effin' Ramen because it was like Marafuko ramen. But when I turned and looked at it really quickly, I was like, did that just say Mother Effin' Ramen? Which was really good. That was really good. Definitely recommend that place. And then went back and packed, and sadly I left at like 6 a.m. the next day. So that was my trip to Austin. I loved every second of it. I feel like it fed my soul in such a good way that I was like, you know what? I'm feeling a little creative. So I've been making notes about a project. I was like, I've got an idea for something that I want to like maybe invest some time and effort into. And so that's been rolling around in my head. I'll share more at a future date, I think. I don't want to talk about it too much before it takes any shape or form. But I just was like, yes, this is what I need to do. But so no spoilers because John says he has tickets for it on Wednesday. Poor Things. I will just give my like general impression of the movie. I thought it was weird as hell. It is one of those movies when it gets to the end, no spoilers again, is you're like, this is a good movie. Like you get to the end and you're like, this is a good movie, but it's so weird that I was like, there are going to be people who are like, I don't want to keep watching this movie. Like, I felt like the beginning was a little slow. It's in black and white in the beginning, and then it moves into color. So I felt, for me, I know it's crappy to say that like, oh, it's once it moved into the color, it was better, but it was. I just thought it was picking up pace, but it's like it's supposed to kind of be like that. I think it's reflective of her character, but it was good. It was good. It was one of those movies where I was like, totally get why she's nominated for an Oscar. Phenomenal. Honestly, everybody in the movie was excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, and Diane is correct. The music in this movie, she brought that up. Really good point. Thank you for saying that. The music in the movie was wild. Like, it was just like, the score is bizarre. But John, I'll be interested to see what you think after you see it. So make sure you text me. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't even imagine what Bill was thinking when I was watching it. But it was one of those where, like, I'm going to let you know there's a lot of nudity in the movie that I did not expect. And I was just like, is Emma Stone going to be naked this entire movie? But she was excellent. She was, and it is one of those that gets, and you're like, this is good. But this was a weird ass journey to get here. I thought it was wow. I'm really happy I saw it. The awesome thing about the Alamo Drafthouse, which I love, and I so desperately wish they had built one here, or that someday I'll live near one. I guess they're building one in Boston. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I started reading something in the chat. Is Alamo Drafthouse. They're very strict about nudity. That might be an undersell. Is you can't talk in it. You like, you get one warning and then they kick you out, and then you can't use your cell phone or any of that stuff. But they will. It is a true dine-in theater. Like, they will push the button, write it down on a piece of paper. They will come and bring you more stuff, and their popcorn is fresh, real butter on it. Oh my God, it's so good. They've got good drinks, and like, you can get liquor, you can get beer. I only had like a ginger ale while I was there because I was like, well, I don't want just water, but I was also like, I'm filled with poison at this point. And also I was just feeling so bloated from the way I've been eating that I was just like, if I were to have a beer right now, I think I would literally explode in these seats. But I love it because I also went to go see Wonka here yesterday, which I know I'm like 3 months late to it, but Wonka, I thought was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's definitely, I feel like, aimed at a much younger audience than the original Willy Wonka is, the Gene Wilder one. But it still, I thought the music was solid. I thought like the film itself was good. I was like, this is a good kids movie. This is a good movie for kids. Like good movie. Also for kids. And it moved along at like a nice pace and everything like that. The problem is that like everybody in that movie theater was talking. There was an older lady who was clearly there with her like teenage grand like daughters. And you know what? They talked. I think they'd definitely seen the movie before because I feel like they were singing some of the songs and stuff. And that's fine. Not fine. It's not fine, actually. I was in an empty row and they sat right next to me. Empty row. So I got up and moved halfway through the movie. We got up and moved, and I could still hear them, but I was like, shame on that lady for not telling her kids to behave. Like, to telling them, hey, this is a movie theater. We don't do this in a movie theater. We don't like talk. It was just, everybody was talking, and it was like cell phone. It's just, I was like, I hate this. I love movies so much, and it just is like, I thought Wonka was going to be awful, and so I think that's what happened, is that I was like, this is actually, it's not too bad. Like, it's going to start streaming, I think, in a couple of days this week. I thought I saw like the 8th or something like that on Max, and or you can just rent it or whatever, buy it. But I actually was like, this is a cute movie. Like, this is pretty good. Like, I don't know, that Chalamet, I guess he's good. I don't know. I don't get it, but it's one of those where I was like, I can't deny that I've never seen him in a movie and been like, I hate this kid. Like, so I'm like, I don't know, he's pretty good. But yeah, so that was like the beauty of an Alamo Drafthouse, and so I'm like, I love it. Also, it was really cool, and the one I was in, it was like I think they all have like a different theme, and so that one was like UFO themed. So there was there, like the area there was like a big, it was like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I think, without it being Close Encounters of the Third. So it was like a big UFO that had like the thing coming down, and then there was like the thing in the desert. He's like carved in the mashed potatoes in that movie. So it was like, it was like that was it. But their like hallway was really nice. They like everything. And then Alamo Drafthouse, they've got one of these days I'm gonna go and sit and like after I'm done and like go in and sit at the bar because there's always a bar, but it's like separate. So it's like a whole wide open area and it's really, really cool. So Donna makes a good point about Wonka. It was a good movie, but you definitely have to like musicals, I think. That is true. I was thinking about it where I was like, I didn't feel like the original was as musical as it was. And then I was thinking back where I was like, well, the Oompa Loompas sang, I was like, I think pretty much all the kids have a song. Cheer Up Charlie, then the grandparents have the song. I was like, I guess the original one is heavily musical. I think it's just that cinematic language, like it looks very different now because this movie is very much like it's bright, it's colorful. It's very true to its cinematic language, not the original movie's cinematic language, if that makes sense. It is a movie of the 2020s because it's like, I was like, I don't think any of these sets are real. You know what I mean? But then like the Gene Wilder one, everything's real. So that was the hard part where I was like, and also I don't find the Gene Wilder one to be like overly colorful. I feel like the colors are actually a little muted in that one. And so it was just this weird, it was this interesting thing. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I haven't been paying with the chat too much. It just kind of has been scrolling by a little bit. So I've just been trying to look over a little bit here, but yeah, theater etiquette is definitely dead. My time to go to a movie is daytime. You got to go. If I pick during a week in the day, you've got to go. That's basically your best shot. But even then, like, I'm not being ageist, not being whatever, but like a lot of times, like there are older people. I don't know if it's where you are in the world, if that's just how people grow up, whatever, but it's like they can be loud and like rude and and like when you shush people, you're like, hey, shh, you're not the only one here. Because I'll do it, shh, and it's like, and then they get attitude with you, and I want to be like, you're being shush for a reason. You know that, right? The Oscars are this Sunday, March 10th. Thank you, Shiva, for putting this in here on ABC at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I've got there's a couple more. I haven't seen all the movies, and I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to be able to because I know I definitely didn't see Anatomy of a Fall, and I didn't see, there was another one, and the actress in Anatomy of the Fall is also in that one. I can't remember. So there's like 2 international films, I think, in there. But one was about the neighbors of during like the Holocaust, I think, or something like that. I can't remember that. But I just I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to watch them all, but I definitely want to get in that vibe. I'm watching it. You know, I'm not. So I remember the older people comment too. I wasn't trying to be ageist, where I was like, oh, it's all these young kids and the thing. It's everybody from every walk of life. It's just like kind of shit in the movies. Like guys, give a crap about people around you. Trey says, after Dune and Wonka, I asked myself, am I a member of the Timothée Chalamet fan club? Maybe even on the board of directors? That's the thing, man. I'm not attracted to this child because that's what he looks like to me at all. But like, I guess I get it why he's in all these movies because feel like I've seen every movie he's been in. I think, you know what's wild? I did not realize, or I forgot because I only rewatched it recently. Interstellar is Zone of Interest is the other movie. Thank you, John. And Interstellar, he's the kid. It's him and another girl. So he's the one who grows up to be Casey Affleck in the movie. But he's one of all right. It's child Matthew McConaughey. That was not because of the beer. I had to cough, but I couldn't get the beer in fast enough. Oh, that was almost a cough sneeze. That would have been a nightmare. I got to see Dune 2. I want to try and go this week, but I really want to watch the first one again before I see it. And I feel like I have to do that within the next week. I don't think there's something coming out this weekend, but then... Wait, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, so not next week. So I think Ghostbusters is the movie that's going to kick it out of the large format because Ghostbusters is an IMAX and Dolby. So I think I still have time to see it in the big theater, but yeah. Thank you, Trey. Okay, I have not seen The Holdovers yet. I almost watched it on my Delta flight because it was in the library there. But I was like, sometimes because I take the Dramamine, I start to get dozy in a movie. on the flight, so I was like, I can't watch this on a flight. Also, I was like, I think I owe it to this movie to watch, like in an either theater or at least in my like where I live, like on a TV. They were still playing it at AMC. It was one of the $5 movies. Not that it matters. I have that A-list, so it doesn't that. But I'm just gonna look because I'm curious. Because if that is true, I think I'm gonna try and see it in the theater. Din. Also, I saw the comment about the show The Floor. Craig was talking about that because he's really into that show too. So, I guess I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm curious about this Drive Away Dolls movie. American Fiction, Poor Things, The Holdovers. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Let me see. I'll never make that tomorrow. But I was like, maybe if it's there Wednesday. I can't imagine it's still gonna be there on Wednesday. Oh, Labyrinth is playing on Wednesday. Snack Shack Early Access. I don't know what that is. Oppenheimer. Wish. Zone of Interest is there. Oh, so they must be rotating. They must be going through them. Dang it. Anyone see Lisa Frankenstein? I'm curious about that. Oh, Anatomy of a Fall is playing on that day too. Well, I can't watch all these movies. Also, I can't really go to a movie. I got stuff to do. I'm trying to finish up the studio for work. Talk about that on the show tomorrow. So if you watch any of the Disney stuff, the work stuff, we'll be doing that. But I'll probably have to just watch The Holdovers here. I loved it. Yeah, American Fiction I thought was excellent. Oh, that's very nice. Sorry, Jill just sent me a nice message. I told her today where I was like, oh, I sought therapy recently. I haven't started, but I'm in that process. And I know I talked about it before, but it is that, like, I said I was going to email, and I did the email, and then we've talked, and then we text. And so, like, we're getting there. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein. I'm worried. Wait, Lisa. Oh yeah, I know. I forgot American Fiction. Yeah, and that was cool. Yeah, that's where I'm like, American Fiction was one of those, like, no spoiler, but the end of that movie where I was like, I think the person who doesn't understand what this movie actually about is not going to like the end of the movie. But I was like, but it has the perfect ending. Like the ending of that movie, I think that's why it's nominated for an Academy Award, because the ending is like such an encapsulation of exactly what that movie is about on so many levels. Like, it's, I mean, obviously I can't speak to a Black community experience or anything like that, but in terms of like the narrative the movie is doing, like, it just fills in that. It just is one of those where I was like, I don't know, it's like, yeah, that was the way to do it. Like, so it was just, I don't know, man. And Jeffrey Wright is so good. Okay, I love Philip K. Am I saying his name? Am I messing up his name? Hold on. Now I'm second guessing myself here for a second. Sterling K. Brown. Who the hell is Philip K. Brown? Sterling K. Brown. That is the first time that ever happened. That's why I was like, who's Philip and why am I saying Philip? Sterling K. Brown is a phenomenal actor. I think he's one of those people who is just so good in everything they do. It's weird to me that he is getting nominated for the Oscar in this, because I am like, of everything he's done, is this just them being like, you deserve this because of whatever? Because not to say that he's not good in this movie, but it doesn't really have that moment where I was like, that's the Oscar moment. Like, I can't think of a moment in the movie. Like, he is good, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's one of those where I'm just like, I mean, he is just, I have been a fan of his. He was on Supernatural in the really early seasons, and I was like, this guy is so good. And then he ended up showing, so I'd always be like, oh, there's that guy from Supernatural. And then, like, when he was in He was in American Crime Story, the People versus O.J. Simpson. Oh my God, he is so good, so good. He's so good. Like, and also I've always loved Jeffrey Wright, so I am really happy that I feel like he's kind of getting his credit that he deserves a little bit more. And I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those moments where I was just like, I'm enjoying seeing these actors who I feel like have never gotten that have never gotten their what is the word? God, there's a phrase I can't remember now, but they're getting their credit anyway. Sorry, but yeah, I love it. Okay, John, please text me about American Fiction because I that's one of those movies where I am like, I'm gonna buy this. Well, because it was also filmed in Massachusetts, but I was like, I could watch it, even because I'm not a writer, but I like I'm more of an idea person, and I can map out a story. Like we could sit down together, and I'll be like, okay, here are the beats. Like here's Act 1, here's Act 2, here's Act 3. But writing down what people say is a nightmare. And so like I am always like trying to be like that's the part about film where I wish more people collaborated, because I'm always just like I have a lot of ideas that I've been writing down lately, and I'm like I'll write it out, and like this idea I have after this like last weekend and stuff that I've been writing down, I'm just gonna keep writing it, and because I'm like eventually maybe I'll get somebody who can do the dialogue. That's why it was like my friend RJ and I have a good relationship, because he helped me write one of the episodes of, like, I had written the first couple episodes of my Corgi puppet show, The Adventures of King Arthur and Rocket. Somebody just gave me a thumbs down. That is rude. So, if some people in this chat, I hate this. I can't believe that YouTube still judges videos by this or whatever. If you guys, if anybody watching, you want to give that thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. If we could counteract that. I know crappy people come over sometimes just to shit on our discussions and stuff, but he wrote the third episode, and he was one of the voices in it, and he's so talented, and he is so good at that stuff. He is like, I think he does really well with dialogue, because he'll send me his stuff he works on every now and then. I read it, and I'm always telling him. I feel bad because I'm always that friend though, where I was like reading it, and I'm always like, this is good, this is good, this is good, and I'm like, I say it, and I'll be like, I'll give feedback or whatever, but it's like it's one of those things where I read stuff and I was like, I don't think I need to give you like feedback very often, and that's why I was like, I don't want him to think, oh, I'm just saying it's good because you're my friend. I'm telling you it's good because I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, you are very good at this, and so I'm going to try and work with him and stuff, but we did that Ampliverse, so I appreciate all of you doing the thumbs up. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody, guys, gals, everybody. Yeah, sorry, yeah. I love something like, the thing about American Fiction is just like, I love when you can kind of see the pillars of story in things, and how they like come together really interesting. Like, that's the thing, like the stuff with like Schitt's Creek. Like, the reason why I love watching like Schitt's Creek is like, it's not, so in some of my writing classes in school, it was kind of about how, like, well, sitcoms, very historically, all of them have similar, my God, this like screen right next to me, my monitor is like on fire right now. Jesus, I hope it doesn't burst into flames. Is they have a beat, like they have an A line, they have a storyline, a B storyline. They have this thing is the teaser, and this thing is the thing, and you write it by this many pages and write it by this. And I feel like we've, in this day and age of the streaming and stuff like that, we've definitely broken out of that a lot more. But the thing with like Schitt's Creek is just like I know, Trey, you brought it up in the chat about like Moira's, the way Moira speaks, the way they talk to each other. And it is true about like what we do in the shadows as well. It's just so interesting and specific. And it's that effort where you're like, how much of that is written versus how much did that person make up, versus how much is organic in the moment, which is like, how much does the actor contribute versus the writer versus the director versus these people. And it's just this thing where it comes out and you're just like, this is beautiful. And oh, the Dan Levy episode was on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay, I'm gonna watch that after the stream because I've been waiting for that one. With Sean Hayes is in that too because I love Sean Hayes. I've been rewatching older episodes of Will and Grace, and then also Tori. Big thank you to Tori. If you watch this back or you're not watching right now, sent me. Look at this. Look at what showed up at my house the other day. I was literally not my house. You know what I mean? Where I live. Look at this. Look at this. The complete set on Blu-ray. I cannot. You don't even understand. Like, I am so excited. I am watching every second of this. I'm watching every special feature of that. I love it. I was like, this is a mistake. The Amazon man, like, because I was outside, like, getting something on my trunk, and the Amazon man, like, handed me the thing. Was like, "Are you Ryan?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I didn't know anything." And when I opened it, I was just like, "Oh my God!" Like, I can't. If you have not watched that show is just one of those like. When I first started watching it, I was like, "Oh, it's fine." Like, but it is one of those shows where it's like it has that same emotional tenderness, that warm cookie feeling, like Parks and Rec and Superstore. And I think Superstore for me is going to be one of those shows too, where I like think it's one of the best for me. Like, it resonates with me so specifically that I think it is one of the best ever shows to grace the airwaves in terms of like comedy and all that stuff. And it's just like, I just wish more people had eyes on it and things. And I think it's definitely for anybody who's ever worked in retail. It's so true. But it's also about like the human condition. And it's also about people who live in like lower class. And it's like trying to become something more than you are. And I spit all over my computer right then. And so it's just one of those like, I love a show that kind of examines human nature, you know, things in society, all this stuff where it's like, just like, why are things the way they are? How did we get there? How do we change it? You know, that sort of stuff. But yeah, happy endings, Mark, right behind me on the shelf over here. You can't see it, but there is the complete series of happy endings over here. And I actually just recently rewatched that as well. Big fan of that. And one of the running jokes we had in Austin was I made everybody watch the clip from, it is season 2, and it is, I can't remember the name of the episode, but Dave opens a speakeasy in his food truck, and Penny is swearing off sugar in that. That's the other storyline. And she, like, Dave goes to hug her, and he goes, "Whore's bath." And she goes, "Excuse me, David, did I have a one-night stand with a man? Yes. Did I rub some dryer sheets and splash some water on my hush in the bathroom of an en bon pas? Excuse me if I am a single woman who enjoys sex just as much as a man." And he was like, "Penny, the drink, whore's bath, it's gin-based?" And she goes, "Oh, no, I've sworn off sugar. I haven't had sugar in 4 days." And then Jane goes, "Well, that would explain that that Sandra Bernhardt one woman show you just screamed in our faces." I think it is one of those beat for beat, like, I remember where I was watching it and having to pause it and cover my mouth because I was laughing so hard because I was watching it with like headphones in the middle of the night, and I was just like, I'm about to wake up everybody. And it is just one of those things where I am like, it's just so good. But that's also like, that's the type of show where it's like joke, 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 joke. But I also like that show because it's one of those where I know sometimes people are like, oh, it comes off a little, especially in the later part of the third season, very over the top. But the whole thing is the show is making, the joke is like that it's kind of picking apart rom-com and those type of shows and things like that. And it's so good. But my other favorite episode is the Valentine's Day episode where Brad goes in and he has the cavity and then he's like super high for the rest of the episode. But that episode has a lot of like really, really, really funny jokes in there. But that's Happy Endings. That is, I believe it is both on Hulu and Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's definitely on Hulu. So definitely recommend that to anybody who hasn't seen that. There's a lot of people you'll recognize from other shows in there at this point too. Who've definitely like gone on to other things. But it's one of those shows where I was like, man, it is, the chemistry of the cast is really a big part of that show. Damon Wayans Jr. So Damon Wayans Jr. was in the pilot of New Girl. And the reason why he's not in the episodes after that is because they ended up renewing Happy Endings because he had filmed it like a year before. And ABC didn't put it on until a full year. Like they put it on in the spring, 2 episodes a week. And it was like a full year later. So he had done the pilot for New Girl in between. And then they renewed it. And so that's why. And then when that show got canceled, he went back to New Girl. So that's why he wasn't on. That's why Coach. That's the story of Coach. I have not watched Atlanta yet, but I hear Atlanta's great too. And I love Donald Glover, who is going to be in the Community movie. Very excited for that. Oh, good, Isaiah. I'm so happy that you got to Superstar. I'm glad that we could share that for you. I feel like it's one of those shows where I'm like, trust me. There have been very few people who have said the thing about Superstore 2 and who have ever been like, oh, I'm unhappy I watched it. I don't think CJ's watched it. Well, we're going to change that. But I am on like season 4 of like the original Will and Grace right now, and it's the Woody Harrelson episodes, and it is that peak where I'm like, I'll enjoy all of Will and Grace. I mean, it definitely gets really outlandish, but it is one like I've always enjoyed it. It's crazy to see, you know, the different times between then and now. Some of the stuff they said on TV back then too. It's wild, but like this is that sweet spot where I was like, this is the golden hour of like, this is where like everything is just hilarious to me. They have like great chemistry. Every character does. It's every line delivery is just like pitch perfect. Like it's so good. It's so good. It's one of those shows that makes me sad though, because I don't think they like each other in real life. And I'm like, so. And Trey, What We Do in the Shadows. I'm glad you got into that. I do like the Connors. I see that popping up in here. Trina, I watch the Connors every time there's a new episode. I'm watching it the next day because I watch it on my Hulu. And I very much enjoy that. I mean, come on. John Goodman is a national treasure. Bazinga is the war cry of Sheldon, their leader. A turtle. That episode's great. I do like the Connors. Where can you stream Superstore right now, Lauren Porter? You can stream the entire series of Superstore right now on Hulu. It's all on there still. Definitely recommend that. I bought that the second that came out. It's only on DVD. Sometimes I'm like, why do they only put stuff out on DVD? But so I bought that because I was like, I don't want that to slip off of here. So that's definitely a own, because I will literally watch that over and over. I am not kidding, like on repeat. And that is a show where I feel like it is good from episode like beginning to the end. And like, yeah, sure, the character relationships and the dynamic, like especially in the first season, like Glenn definitely, once he's in hones his that, like once his hair gets a little bit fluffier and all that, it's great. And like, but it like changes, it evolves, it goes, it moves, it grows, but it's so good, especially when the auxiliary characters start coming into it more. It is just, it's so good. Academy Award nominee America Ferrera is the main character in that show. But I have not watched that Feud episode yet. Do I remember the live episode where they broke character trying not to laugh? Oh, of course I do, Mark. The thing about, I think the DVDs have both episodes on it. What's wild though about the Will and Grace that's on Hulu, it's the syndicated episode, because there was just, I've noticed recently in the couple episodes that come up, because I'm remembering now that I used to do scenes from Will and Grace in my theater arts class in high school because my teacher loved it so much, and not being like, no one knows I'm gay. But she would like fall out of her chair, like laughing. And I was just like, I cannot believe I did this when I was 15 years old in front of people. And I'm like, so like those episodes, I was like, they're missing jokes. So they're the syndicated episodes, which this is again, folks, I'm going to bring it up. If you really love something, like a show you really enjoy, something like that, buy the physical copy of it. It's not always true, because Third Rock from the Sun had this problem that for some reason the seasons on DVD are the syndicated episodes. So like, but here's the thing is that like for Friends, Will and Grace, those are the full episodes. Hulu, I think, I don't know if Friends is also playing the syndicated episodes, but the thing with like Will and Grace is like, if you don't own those physical copies, and let's say they just stop making them, that is lost to the ether, you know. And there's some stuff where I was like, I cannot believe they cut out this joke, where I'm like, this is the third beat in the scene. This is what makes the scene. Specifically, there was a lot of episodes, you know, around that time that NBC would have like extended episodes. They'd be like, oh, it's bigger than ever. So it would be, instead of like, you know, normally it's the 22 minutes, 8 minutes of commercial, or, you know, and they would do 40 minutes. And so like when they re-air those ones don't re-air as well, because they can't split them into 2 episodes. Because if it was 40 minutes aired, it means they were really only about like 30-minute episodes or so, 32-minute episodes. And it's just, and so like, they cut those down a lot. And one of those was the season finale where Jack finds out that his father had passed away, and there's a whole thing with him and Nathan, who's Woody Harrelson's character, and they like cut out one of the funniest jokes out of that scene, and it also moves the scene along too quick. But it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's just one of those things where I was like, it's sad to me that we are losing art to just the ether, and maybe that's just part of life, maybe it's what it is, but I will always say invest in that physical copy of something that you truly do love and you think you are going to watch more than once, because it's like that. You never know when it's just going to be gone and disappear. So, have I watched Extended Family? It's based here in Boston. No, I don't actually even think I've heard of that, so I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, Trey, you definitely have your mother's taste in television. I know that for sure. I've never seen Ugly Betty. I've seen clips of it, but I was always like, I'll have to watch it, because my love of America Ferrera came from, I'm very fond of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I think that movie is so good, and it makes me bawl my eyes out. There are only a couple of movies in life where I will do the gasp cry, and one of them is Life is a House, which I think is a phenomenal movie that people should definitely watch. It's the movie that basically gave Hayden Christensen his career, and that's why he was in Star Wars. And but Kevin Kline is the main character, is the dad in that, and he's so good. And I think Robin Wright is the mom. Scott Bakula's in it. We love Scott Bakula in this house. Do you see my Quantum Leap? Where's my Quantum Leap? It's up here. This will be my next. This is going to be one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is going to be my comedy. This is my hour long. Because I know I haven't seen every episode of this, but Scott Bakula, I've been rewatching Looking because I've been trying to inspire it. If you've never seen HBO's Looking, it stars Jonathan Groff and Murray Bartlett's in it. No. Murray Bartlett? Yeah. From White Lotus season 1, and then he was also in that episode of The Last of Us with Nick Offerman. Just a phenomenal actor. And this show is a very, I don't know what the word is, slice of life. It's just like you kind of follow these characters through this journey. It's a very kind of dialogue heavy, but as they move through life, and it's just one of those. It's like kind of the antithesis of Queer as Folk, because it's like showing a different side of like gay life or something like that. But it's basically, they're 30-minute episodes. I think there's 8 episodes of the first season, 8 episodes in the second season, and then there's a movie. And I've been rewatching that because I like kind of the style of what it does, where it's conversational, where it's very much like, here is this thing that we deal with in everyday life, but here is a group of friends who are just like talking about it while they go about their day. And it's like, I love that sort of thing. I think that it definitely gets better as it goes, because I found Patrick to be insufferable, and he's like the main character. But like the character of Richie, I'm talking, there may have never been a character where you are like, I wish that I knew you in real life. Like, I wish. Like, there is a scene where he looks at him, and I'm just like, I could feel it through the screen. I'm like, whew. I definitely recommend that. That's a pretty quick and easy watch. But I'm watching because I'm like, I like to pick apart things sometimes to be like, okay, if I wanted to make something like this, like what would my version of this thing look like? You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if anybody else has things like that they put on. Sometimes it's like an auditory thing where you know what movie I like to have on sometimes? Steve Jobs, the movie, the Michael Fassbender movie. I just think I just like. It's so dialogue heavy, but it's like that. It's basically, I think, anything Aaron Sorkin wrote, because like The Social Network has that same sort of like quick beat, move, but it's like there's a rhythm to how they speak, and so it's like that. But season 1 has 8, season 2 has 10, and then there's the movie. Okay, I thought season 1 had the 10 episodes, and then last night I was like, oh, I think I was on season 8. Or episode 8, and that's why I was like, oh, I was wrong. And I thought, oh, the second season doesn't have many episodes. But Looking, I just felt like it was it's very human, it's very personal, it's very intimate, and like the camera work and sort of how they show it. And I always tell anybody who will listen, and you're listening right now, is music. I always say is like interesting in that show that I was like, I don't know if a lot of people notice, but there's never any music unless it happens diegetically, so diegetic and non-diegetic music would be like a score, because non-diegetic music is music that characters can't hear, so it doesn't exist in their world, it exists in our world. So diegetic is stuff that they are aware of. So in that show, it's only like diegetic music basically until the credits roll. So if there's ever songs or whatever, it's coming out of earbuds or in the club or where they are and stuff like that. And then they play with that a little bit in season 2. And there's this really cool, very long slow motion scene that I was always very fascinated with. Well, I made my first slow motion. I started experimenting with like slow motion video on my camera because of that scene. So it was just very, and I used the same song and everything, but I don't know where that is. I like filmed stuff at Universal. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Here's the thing too. This is why you buy physical media too. I see Queer as Folk being mentioned in here. I mentioned it. Noah's not, was it called Noah's Ark? I thought it was called Noah something else. I feel like I have that on here behind me, but I haven't watched it, but I do want to watch it. There's also like another show that somebody made on YouTube that's like 3 friends that are like that. What was I going to say? Oh, Queer as Folk. If you watch that on a streaming service that, like it was on Netflix, I don't know if it still is, or something else, it's not the original music from the show. The physical DVDs, they have the music in it. And it's crazy to me because that show wrote scenes around specific songs. Like scenes were edited and filmed. Like there's a song in the first episode that plays in the last episode. And it was like not in the show when I was rewatching it. So I was like, that drives me crazy. Okay, you are right. It is Noah's Ark. No, there's another show. Oh, Noah's Ark. There's this other show, Dante's Cove. I never watched that. Noah's Ark I did want to watch, though. But there's literally, I think I, like, sent it to myself or something. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I took, like, a screenshot of it or something where I was like, oh, they have this show that I want to watch. It literally like just came up the other day. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to look for this really quick and then I'm going to go because I told myself I wouldn't be on here super long tonight just because I have a couple other things I want to get done. But I feel like it's having a lot of fun. Okay, Karen, 6 Feet Under. So here's what I did. Whenever I go home, my mom, everybody up there, they love to go to Savers. And I went with them and the entire series of 6 Feet Under was there, and I like kind of regret not getting it because it was a show where I was like, I've seen episodes of it, but I've never seen it all, and I was like, I'd like to watch that back in my adult life. Hold on. Let's see. I feel like it's in. I feel like I don't know. I can't find it. But Daddy, I love him. I don't know where it is. And now this is going to make me sad because I really wanted to watch this show. Did I send it? Did I send it into my social media account? Sometimes I just like send myself links or whatever. Oh, nope. I know where I did it. I saved it. Yo, this guy who's like one of the writers on the new X-Men show is like a very, very attractive man. And I'm like, I will watch your show. Hold on. I just want to bring this up because it looked really cool. No, now I can't find it, and it's lost forever, and I've lost everything, and I'm terrible. Oh, I'm so mad. It was like somebody made a YouTube show, and then I think it was like a hit, and then got to it. Man, I gotta stop saving all this Doctor Who content. Okay, hold on. Wait, Karen, I didn't see what you were saying. You were telling me to watch. Are you talking about Days of Our Life? No. Say You Love Me from Looking. So the song I used from Looking to do my slow motion thing was the song from the first episode of season 2, which was the Lost in Music, that like remix of it. And I like that. I don't know. It's very slow. Not everyone's gonna like it. It was for me to practice like camera tricks and things like that and stuff, and not everybody's into it. Okay. I have not seen Whiplash. Whiplash is the movie with J.K. Simmons, right? And he is like pounding the helmet. Um, it's Ryno, not Reno. That's in California. Yeah, I accept Reno though. I allow it because my grandparents' dog when I was growing up was named Reno, so it has fond memories. So it is one of those where I'm like, it's okay. Autocorrect loves to call me Reno. Oh, Shiva, thank you very much for that very positive comment. Um, yeah, I know. I will. That's the Damien Chazelle movie. I have never seen it. It is definitely. It's on my list though. I got to watch it because I've seen his other movies. Like I've seen La La Land. I saw First Man. I didn't see Babylon. But I have to watch that. I'll have to definitely check that out. And I watched a clip from it the other day, and I was like, oof, it's intense. But yeah, there's like a series of movies when I'm feeling like a certain way about being like I want to be creative. I'll watch like it's very specific. Like it's like Juno. Like Little Miss Sunshine. Um, oh my God, what? There's another one in that group, and now I haven't done the cycle of the watch for so long that I'm like, oh, the Way Back. If you've never seen the Way Back, Jim Rash wrote it with I think Nat Faxon, who was in The Conners, who we brought up earlier, but it was also filmed in Massachusetts. It was filmed in Wareham, Massachusetts, about a swim or a park that we used to go to, and so or a water park. Sorry, not a park. Sorry, I didn't mean to burp. I see the Dairy Girls coming in here. I have seen Dairy Girls. I think Dairy Girls is hilarious. It is an excellent show. I have not seen season 3 yet, though. And I'm worried that it's like, oh, I'm going to be sad it's over. I've seen like one episode. Yeah, so anyway. Okay, guys, I am going to go. I very much appreciate you all. Sorry to not cut it short, but I told myself I wasn't going to go to an hour and a half, and it's already like almost an hour and a half. But I just enjoy doing these. I hope that you enjoy watching them. Sorry I got my little like spaced out there for a little bit. But ooh, double hazy. Mike's drinking a double hazy. Hey, love a good hazy IPA. So yeah, I mean, guys, here's what I'm gonna say this week. Let's do this for each other. Be creative. You know, if you like to be a creative person, do something creative this week. You know, if you're feeling like you're not going to do it, just like, I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard. I know that we have stuff to do. I know that we've got to keep working. We've got to keep moving. We've got to keep, doing that hustle culture, whatever. But take a second and do something that feeds your soul a little bit. Okay. I feel like I'm going to say it out loud, and I hope it's not a do as I say, not as I do, but like do it, and encourage somebody else in your life to kind of do it, or maybe empower them to be able to do that, whatever you have to do that, because we can do this, and we have this wonderful support in here, and maybe we can report back next Monday and we could talk about some creative thing that we did. So it is Monday, March 4th. So the next time we do one of these next Monday, let's do another one of those. Let's do a check-in, a creative check-in, and we can be like, hey, did we do anything fun or creative? And creative can be anything. Creative can literally be like, I came up with a new cocktail. Excuse me. Trey, I know you like to do that, and or maybe it was just like, I went out and I tried a new thing, I tried a new dish, or I cooked a new thing, or I did this, or I did that, or I wrote my journal, or I read a new book, or I just went and did that. Like, just do something that feeds your soul, and we can do a check-in next week, because I just want everybody to. I think it's good for us. We're coming into the springtime right now. As much as I hate how it's getting warmer, because I prefer to be cold, and unfortunately, I live in Florida right now, and it's just like feels like hell sometimes. But it's one of those where I feel like we need to spring clean the soul a little bit. So work on that, and spread that love around. Thank you for sharing all of that, your positivity, and being a part of this community out here that we're trying to build together. For all of you who aren't commenting or in the chat or anything like that, thank you so much for watching this. And if you are near a computer or anything like that, you want to give this a thumbs up, that is greatly appreciated. That just kind of, I think it makes sure everybody who's like subscribed and things like that, they get the notices and stuff like that. And it just kind of keeps it out there. You know what I mean? And maybe we can make this grow a little bit more and find other people and things like that. So, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy all of you out here. You are something that does feed my soul in such a positive way. So I thank you so much for that. And just, have fun. Think on that a little bit. Even if it's just watching a movie, something, just enjoy it. Enjoy yourself, and do something for you this week. So thank you, everybody out there. Again, you're awesome. And I appreciate all of your continued support and everything like that. And I don't know if we'll be doing another live before next Monday, so just stay tuned to the channel. If you subscribe and then click that bell, it should give you a push notification on an app on your phone if you have it, or send you an email or something. I think it does. I'm not 100% sure. So you'll be able to you'll be able to hop in whenever it lets you know, or anything like that. And then I don't know. I don't want to tease the thing, but I think I'm going to try and work on doing maybe some sort of daily check-in that I mash together at the end of the week, so we have another type of video. But we're working on it. Anyway, thanks everybody. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Have a great week. I hope it started off okay. I know that this was a great start for me right here doing this, and I hope it was for you as well. Take care of yourselves. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay safe.